Hey guys, as promised, I'm going to go over the homework that I assigned on the first video, or lesson 1, but due to the fact that I just finished my finals for university, uh, my brain is very dead. So I wrote out the code in advance and played around with it to make sure that it worked. So right now I'm just going to go over the differences between what you guys saw last time and kind of how I changed it. And then I'll go over the actual functionality of what I added to it. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Here was the last version where we had level, experience, level next, and then I asked you guys to add in three player stats, strength, dexterity, and intellect, and then I asked you to have it formatted so when you print it out down here, it would print out just the level that you gained, and I believe it was the old stats before the level, and then how many stat points you gained after leveling. Actually, I think I wrote that down somewhere. Yeah. Whew. Freaking university finals really mess with you. Made a website, totally forgot I even made it. Yeah, actually I'll just show that here. So, I made a little companion website to go with this where I'm just going to put up all the content that I cover in the videos, and possibly a little bit more. I added in this little sideboard area because outside of the normal lessons that I'm going to do on Saturday, I thought I would just kind of throw in whatever I thought was cool or whatever I did programming-wise that like throughout the week. But back on topic. Example output. So yeah, just the level. Oh no, I changed it here because apparently I thought it was ugly. So strength plus 8. Okay, yeah. But we'll do it the way I said to do it. So we'll do the old statistics and then plus the gained statistics. Alright, so this was the old one. We're going to go over to the new one, which looks slightly different. Oh no, what is this beast? So the only difference is I just created dictionaries. So these are just straight variables assigned in a global scope, and then I put them into a dictionary. Same thing with the player statistics here. Strength, dexterity, intellect. I put those into a dictionary as well. And then I put this entire thing plus the additional functionality that I assigned inside of a function, which is this. And then I called the function a couple times to show you guys the output. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all the major differences. Alright, so let's just run this really quick and see what the output actually is. So, this big chunk of code that I'm going to cover during this basically outputs level 2, and then it says strength plus 1, or strength 1 plus 1. So, strength starts out at 1, dexterity starts out at 1, and intellect starts out at 1. And during the leveling process, every single time the character gains a level, it adds 1 to each. So the first time I call it and I level up once, it says that my initial strength, dexterity, and intellect was 1, and I gained 1 stat point. The next time I call it, I gain 3 levels, and it will basically say the last time, before I leveled 3 times, my strength was 2. So if we look back at the first time I leveled up, where I gained to level 2, it will say my strength was 1 plus 1. And that reflects here, where it says before I gained my 3 levels in advance, I had 2 strength. And then if I call it again, down here, where I gained 1 more level, the cumulative of this, so 2 plus 3, then I have 5 strength right here. So that's just the product of that, or the sum. I think the sum is more mathematically correct. Okay, so let's go into how we actually derived this stuff. So we have our statistics right here, and we have our function. And one interesting thing about functions is that I can't actually access these because they're in a global scope, while everything inside this function is in a local scope. So you can think of this as being like the contents of your room, or like this is your sock over on the chest or drawer. Well, you can think of the function as a box, and if it isn't in the box, you can't, the box can't recognize it. So these are outside the box, these are inside the box, and we can't find anything outside the box. So in order to solve that problem, we have two parameters here. So this is our way of putting these global variables into our local scope. And I'm throwing around a ton of terminology, and I apologize, but I'm tired. So yeah, I apologize. Okay, so here I'm just assigning some experience to the character, and then I'm calling the level up function. And when I call it, I'm passing the character stats, our character and the stats dictionaries to this function. So character, stats. And basically all I have to do that is just input these two variables. And then when I call this, it'll run the function with these two. So you can think of it as like a little factory. I input 6 things, or yeah, well, 6 things, 2 variables, but 6 things. And those 2 variables pass in all the information that I need into the box. And inside there, because I said I wanted my old statistics plus the statistics that I gain, I need to define 3 more things as placeholders. So I define N strength, or new strength, new dexterity, and new intelligence. And I initialize them all to 0. And then we go through our old leveling function, where I just updated, experience level, next level. And I just updated them so that I can actually access them inside of the dictionary that I created. So most of it is pretty much the same. It just looks slightly more complicated, but it's really just saying the same thing. Actually, I'll just prove that really quickly. Boom. Where are you, 2 columns? Alright, let's put you over here. Alright, so if we look at our old one, we have our while loop right here. So we say while XP is greater than or equal to next level, level plus 1, XP equals XP minus level next. So we're saying our XP minus whatever our next level cost is. And then we're taking our level next times 1.5, rounding it so that we do not have any decimal points. And then we're saying put that rounded number into level next, essentially changing our level requirement every single time we level. And then we just print out all that stuff. So if we compare that to this, we say while character XP. So if we look at this dictionary call, we can see that character XP is right here, and this statement looks very much like this statement, just with some extra syntax in there. Delete. There we go. So we have while character XP greater than or equal to character next level. So that line basically matches. Then we have character level plus equals 1, character level plus equals 1, character XP equals character XP minus character level next, XP equals XP minus level next, character level next equals round character level next times 1.5, level next equals round level next times 1.5. So we can see that that is exactly the same, it just looks more daunting. A new addition here is these variables that we had just defined, so new strength, new dexterity, and new intelligence, and we are giving them plus equals 1 every loop around. So every time we level, we're saying add 1 more integer to this, or yeah, to the sum. So when we level once, it's going to say, oh, hey, look, there is 0 in each one of these. I'm going to put 1. And then it's going to loop around again and be like, hey, do you have enough experience to level? If you do, okay. And then it's going to say these are equal to 2. So if we go down more, print level, character level. So that's basically this line right here. I believe that's exactly this line right here. Yeah, it is. So let's just do another side-by-side comparison here. So we have print level, comma, level, which is just calling this number right here. So if we look at here, we have print level, comma, character level, which is just calling this key in the dictionary, which is 1. So in this one we have this variable calling this value, and in this one we have this key calling this value. So same thing, just looks more daunting. And then here, this is actually new. So this is how I took care of the assignment. So it says print strength, and then some special syntax, and then dexterity, special syntax, int. Special syntax, int. Intelligence. And I'm using a method operator on this string called format, which just basically allows me to put variables inside of this special syntax, which is 2 squiggly brackets. And it goes in order. So right here, this first one is the first thing in the format list. So that's going to be strength stats, or stats strength, which is calling this right here. So I'm saying strength 1, so strength 1, plus new strength, which is defined here. So however many loops we've gone through, it will print out that number here. Same thing with dexterity, same thing with intelligence. And then after I show that to the player, or the viewer, I actually go ahead and increment that. So if I have 1 strength, 1 dexterity, and 1 intelligence, and then I level twice, which would give me 2 additional stats, so new strength, new dexterity, and new intelligence would all be carrying 2, a value of 2. And then I will say stats strength plus equals new strength. So what that would actually be saying, if I leveled up twice from level 1, it would be saying, hey, I have 1 strength, because this is referring to my 1 strength that I start off with, and then it's saying add this number, however many times this number is looped through, to this. So if I level up twice, my total strength will be 3. And that's where the loop will basically end. So this is all within the loop, and this is all without the loop. And yeah, that's basically it. Had a brain fart there for a second. Alright, so when I print it out, that's what I get. I get level 2, and then I get 1. My strength is 1, and then I get plus 1 because the loop only ran once. So plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. And then when I run it again, since it's cumulative, I input 200 experience, which gets me the 3 levels that I want. And then from the last time it ran, I have 2 strength, and then it's giving me 3 more. And then the next time I run it, it will say, hey, that last time you ran it, your end total was 5, even though we only displayed 2 plus 3. So it will say, hey, you're at 5 strength, and you gained 1 level, plus 1. Let's just throw that over here. Okay. I'm not going to assign any homework this time around, because I think I'm just going to do, like, a makeup episode for you guys tomorrow, since I really just can't even think today. So I'm gonna call that good for now. Yeah. Thanks for watching, you guys. like, subscribe, and leave a comment or any questions that you may have about what I did. I hope I explained it clearly enough, and I will see you tomorrow.